Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Get Rich 101. Get Rich 101. I'm your host. I'm Seeker Wrights, and I am an author. They put that up. Oh, got something to report about the authorship. And put this up. Hack your pain down. Hack your pain now. So let me finish my intro and I'm gonna come right back to that. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me the space and the opportunity to give me they've given me my space to work out to work out my voice, to work out my attention span, everything that I work out by doing the show that I don't mention often. I give thanks to the New Thought Media Network for being there for me. So I share. And as you can tell by my voice, this is the first thing I'm doing. I'm waking up. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was up at 6 in the morning, and then I just went back to sleep. So anyway, Ashe, Ashe. So what else do I have to say? And let me check my notes. Check my notes. No, I think that's it. Just a quick disclaimer: I am not a personal trainer, nor am I an investment analyst. All right. So, Ashe. Oh, and I didn't give him the dates. A man with a stroke. I am a man with a stroke since July 14th, 2022. And that may seem like a long time, but it is not. It is not. It is not. Ashe. Okay, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. Hack your pain now. So, hack your pain now. I've got to give the whole story now. Hack your pain now is a book that I wrote sometime during the pandemic. Right. And then, and then, well, the stroke happened. The stroke happened, and then left me with amnesia. A strong form of amnesia that's still being rolled back. And so I forgot that I wrote the book. I just forgot, and I found the stack of papers printed out on 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. I found it, and I started reading it as much as I could. Now that was very strong. Something I was trying to read something that was very difficult, and I was scared at the time. I wasn't going to end up being able to read, but I kept reading. I kept reading the same sentence over and over again, just trying to get the same sentence. And then eventually, I read most of the book. And then eventually I read that it was from me, that I had written the book. And I was like, I wrote this? When did I write this? I still can't figure out exactly when, but we're just going to say I wrote it during the pandemic. But there was nothing on it that implied that I was going to publish it. That I think that I wrote it to hold on to for me. I don't think that I had any plans on publishing it. I found nothing that was about publishing it. But what happened is it helped me. I know that sounds strange, but it helped me. Like I felt better about my life reading my book. Right. Right. And I know how that sounds, but I wrote a book that I completely forgot about. And then I discovered that book, and then I read that book and was completely enthralled, right? And that was incredible to me. And I thought, well, there might be some other people that it would help. And so I just kind of threw it together and put it out. Now, when I say threw it together and put it out, I mean, I meant that literally. Like you all are noticing that there's spelling errors, there's pages are unkempt, like like there's a page that starts in the middle of another page, and this page starts on this page. It is ugly. It is ugly. But I could not get my mind to focus enough on the task to shape everything into a worthwhile book. Now, I've done this before. I've self-published a book, and I found all the previous books that I've previously published in the system on Amazon. I was like, okay, I can do this. But no, I could not do it. I could not do it. As a matter of fact, shout out to Sa, my friend Sa. She got it published in less than 5 minutes. Like, I was studying for it for weeks. I mean, for weeks I was studying. I was like, trying to figure it out. I could not figure it out. And I met up with Sa. She looked at it. She was like, "Oh, you mean this?" Well, I was like, man. So that was one of those moments when I had to give up on the effort. No, not the effort. Give up on the desire to do better. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I should have been able to fix that, to hit the button to post a book, and I was not able to. And the fact that I found it so quickly was just like it hurt me for a minute, but I had to let it go. I had to let it go, because if I held on to it, I've learned this from past experience. When I hold on to it, it eats me alive. It eats me alive, because I mean, there's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing I can do but what I can do, right? And so I've got to smile, ding, ding. I got to smile and release holding on to those things, because those things still happen. Those things still happen. Yeah. All right. So you saw me think about one of those situations, but let me finish what I'm saying about the book, and then I'll come back to that. So anyway, the book was written by me, even though it was forgotten, and I published it. And so now it's been published for, I don't know, maybe a year or so, but I still can't get my mind around doing things. So, so this was funny. My dad was like, well, "Why don't you make a paperback book?" Because I published it as a Kindle book, an ebook that you read on your phone or your device, your computer, whatever device you have. But I didn't create it as a published book, a physical book. And so he was like, "Why don't you make a paperback book out of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I tried. I went down to my dad's basement, man cave, and I tried to get it, because I know I've done it before. Got all these books lined up in the Amazon system that I've made before. And I know that I have done it. So I'm like trying to figure it out, and I ended up with with a cover, a book cover that was so big that all you could see was a corner of the book. Like, you can see the ISBN number. That's all you can see, because the cover was so big. And I was like, I don't know. I just put it aside. And so my mom brought it up again. She's like, why don't you put the the published book together? I was like, ah! So I've trained myself not to do that initially, not to be like, ah! Even though that's what I'm feeling. But that's what I was feeling. I was like, oh no. And so I came down yesterday, and I was all set to lounge all day. I was going to watch a movie, had a movie queued up and everything. I started watching a movie. And she was like, "So how you feel about, doing the paperback book?" And I was like, "Oh, no." So anyway, I spent some time trying to figure it out, trying to remember where I put the manuscript and how I got the manuscript to be a manuscript, and it was difficult for me. It was like it's like I unearthed some piece of my brain to do it the first time, and then it retracted itself. I it's hard to explain, but anyway, I was trying to figure it out, and and what happened is something else happened. The printer stopped working. I was like, oh, ooh, the printer stopped working. I was like, ooh, because the last time that I made the printer work in this house was before the stroke. I had, I think it was before the stroke, way before. And so I was trying to figure out the stroke as a post stroke person. I was like, oh no. And I was thinking about it because I was like, oh no, I cannot leave my mom without a printer. It's like, oh, I gotta figure this out. So what I did is I started watching. Sorry, it's making me laugh. I was watching movie trailers, right? So I had movie trailers open on YouTube. Every time felt myself feeling overwhelmed, I would switch to the movie trailer and watch a movie trailer. Like, oh, whoa, so and so is coming out. Oh, okay, all right. And then I would go back to the YouTube where I was listening to the how-to guide, a guy telling us how to fix the printer. And I should mention that even that was a bit of a trick because I had to remember that there are people on YouTube who will print out anything. They will make videos of anything that you want done. I did not know that. It didn't just ding into my mind because I was sitting there trying to figure it out. And then I found out that information. I can't even remember now what made that evolve, but I remembered then that I could find it on YouTube. And so I put in, connect printer Wi-Fi via 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 YouTube, and then I had it switchable with one bar being that about the printer and one bar being about movie trailers. And I was like, ooh. So I kept on switching over to the trailers, and then I switched back. I switched over to trailer and switch back. And so I got it to work. I got it to work, and I was elated. I was elated that I got it to work. And I was like, man, that was a big thing for me. And I know it seemed like it was easy, but no, it was not. It was not. Anyway, so I got the printer working, and then I had to come back to do the book. And I just barely figured out how to make the movie, no, not the movie, the book cover small. Yeah, I figured that out. I was like, oh, wait, I can do this. So I figured out how to make it small. And after that, I was exhausted. I was exhausted. Yeah. I was exhausted. So my mom said, well, just put it out as it is. I was like, thank goodness. Thank goodness. So the book is now available. Well, no, within 72 hours, it'll be available as a paperback book. But my mom wrote this paragraph that I put on the back of the book about she wrote it in my voice, in my first person, but it's my mom who wrote it. And she wrote it very well. And it talks about how I discovered this book, what I just explained to you, in a much shortened version, and how this all came together, because it's an incredible story, really. It's an incredible story how this book came to be, how this book came to tickle me into finding out that it's a book that I wrote, a book that I have released as a book on Kindle, and I've had so many people shout me out to say how great the book was, that it helped them, and they were really like, "Ooh, Sekou, your book." Sekou, your book. And I don't know if there's a difference between, well, there must be some difference. There must be some difference between how I carried myself intellectually before versus now. Because I think that's what it is. I think I wasn't ready to publish that book because it was too all up in here, too all up in here, all up in my system. And I was able to publish that book. I was able to publish this book, Hack Your Pain Now, because I have a separation now in my mind. I know it's hard to explain. I know it's hard, but there's a separation in my mind between what was before and what was after. What was before and what was after. What was before and what was after. And so anything that happens to me beforehand comes off like a movie. Comes off like a movie. And so the things about the book that are most traumatic are things that I don't feel anymore. I literally don't feel them anymore because they're part of my pre-stroke. You know what I mean? Like now I just talk about it. Like, yeah. So I mean, I'll never forget that someone was interviewing me and said that, oh, you're talking about this book about, you're talking about what happened. Wait a minute, was she reading the book? No, she wasn't reading the book. She said I was talking about what had happened to me, like I'd never spoke about it before. I was like, what do you mean? Like I'm talking about what happened to me. It's like, yeah, but you didn't say that before. You kept everything quiet and private. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you mean, but I'm just telling it like it is. And so there's a difference between pre-Sekou and post-Sekou, what he calls new brain Sekou. New brain Sekou. So yeah, so that's what happened. I that's what I did for Christmas. I got into transferring my book, well, not transferring, adding to my book a paperback version. Ta-da! And so sooner or later, the 72 hours will pass, and the book will be available as a paperback. And I don't know, I have to tell you that I wanted to publish it as a paperback book, but every time I tried to do it, I was like, oh, I can't. And so it was this time being with my mom and having her kind of rah shishkum rah over there, they got me through it. And so that was a great help. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Because I was able to get through it. And if it wasn't for that losing the ability to print, whew, if I hadn't fallen out, I would have had a little more energy to expend on the book. But taking that out was major. Taking out the printer, that was major. That was major. So thank you for that. Okay. So that was that. So anyway, what I thought of earlier, I said I thought of a way to deal with these things that when they happen, to deal with these happen when the things that happen, because I have to address them quickly in my mind, because if I don't, they just crumble. They just crumble. And I know I just said that in a way you don't understand what I mean. So what I mean is, I was talking about I was talking about me figuring out how to push the button to make the book be published as a paper as a Kindle book. And I was saying that thinking of ways to smile and be happy in that moment when I can't figure out how to do something has become inevitable. It's just become. So anyway, I was going to give you an example just from this weekend, from Sunday. So Sunday, Sunday, I got dressed for church, and I brought my shoes downstairs because my mom's shoehorn was downstairs. So I came downstairs and I'm sitting there struggling, struggling. I mean, struggling to get my right foot on, my right shoe on. Now, let me explain for a second. My right foot has become larger in some ways. Like since not new, since since the since the oh since the stroke. Since the stroke, my right foot has been a little bit bigger. But also it's harder to manipulate. It's harder to shape. And so I don't have the same tools with my right foot than I do with my left foot. I've got more tools with my left foot. So I put on my left foot, put on. Then I was trying to put in my right shoe, and it was hard. It was hard. I kept on trying to take a deep breath, like right, and I was aware of the fact that we hadn't left yet to go to church after the time my mom wanted to go to church. Like I still wasn't ready for us to leave to go to church. And I could not get it together. I could not get it together. And so mom's sitting there watching, and then she says, "You're trying despite the most challenging part," or something like that. Something like that. Basically, what she meant was, let me do this in motion. I had to ask her what she said again. I said, "What?" She said, "You're," however she said it. Said, "You're, trying to rush past the most." I don't know what exactly she said, but I had to sit there and think for a second. Oh, she means the laces. And I went down and I unpeeled the laces of the shoe, and then I got my shoe on like that, and I was like, because see, to you think, well, why didn't I just undo the laces in the first place? But my mind, people, is different now. It doesn't necessarily connect to the easiest solution. And of course, it's also connecting to my past when those shoes, I could just slip them on anytime, anywhere. Just slip them on. Sip, 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 right? But I did not think of me undoing the laces. Like I undid them a little bit to put my shoe on, but I had to undo the laces of the shoe, pull the things apart, and then slide my shoe on, and then relace my shoe. And I was like, man, how much longer would I have been here? How much longer would I have been here trying to figure out how to get on a shoe that wasn't laced or was laced too tightly? I was like, man. And so I felt it. I felt it coming on. I felt it coming on that. I was like, let it go. Just let it go, Sekou. Let it go. Be grateful that mom was there and she gave me the help to untie the shoelace to get it on. Just be glad for it. Just move on. Move on. Because I started feeling it. I felt the tears welling up. All those things. I felt all of it impinging on me because it's something simple. It's something simple. Something simple. And yeah, I had to work with myself. Had to work with myself a little bit. So anyway, Ashe, I'm letting you know that these things happen to people in my condition who are fighting aphasia all the time. All the time. And I can just play it off. And you never know. But yeah, untie laces. Oh, it's just untie laces. And you never know. But I'm letting you know that these things are hard for us to calculate because you don't understand how difficult everyday things are. Getting that printer hooked up getting that printer hooked up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. And getting my shoelaces tied, huge, huge. And so there are things that I never even would have thought of, never even would have thought of pre-stroke. I'm like, fix a printer, tie my shoe, you know, and those things are frequent and unexpected. You don't know when you're gonna find something. I didn't know it was gonna be my shoelaces. Like what? What? I didn't know it's gonna be my shoelaces. So for us to tell you how we're feeling is it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You know. So I share. I share. I share. I don't think any of that was what I want to talk about today, but that's what I got to talk about. That's what I got to talk about. So I share. All right, so let me make some announcements, some hero announcements. Um, uh, uh, Rev Mel. Sometimes I still get names mixed up. Believe it or not, I still get names mixed up. You can believe that, but let me not go into it. I'm not going to go into it. Rev Mel is doing her her meditation with the moon today. So that means she's not doing an early morning. Well, she might. I don't know. She might do both. She might, do something both times. But I think she's going to just do the nighttime meditation with the moon tonight at 8:30. Well, depends on where you are. I'm on Central Time now, so 7:30. Yeah, so that's that is announcement. That is announcement number one. Announcement number two. My girl, my fiance, my thing, B King. I keep forgetting to announce her show because I keep on running up past the limit and I get all the way to the end of the show and I missed it. So let me pause right now. She is doing her show twice a week and she's moving to 3 times a week. What? Yeah, 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So triple action. You got me, you got Rev Mel, and you got Feed King all on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, yeah, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it simple. And so yeah, so check her out. She ran into a friend of hers yesterday, and I don't know how much of the story I should give, but yeah, it was really powerful. It was really powerful, and the way that the universe ordered her to run into him was divine. Was divine, and you all have to stop looking at these things that happen because of the way the Lord's moving and think of it as coincidence. Ain't no coincidence. Ain't no coincidence. Like God is moving you to the right place at the right time. All right. Ashe. Ashe. All right. So I made it on time. I got 1 minute left. With my 1 minute, I'm gonna check the comments, see if there's anything. Let's see. All right, Nan. So you're gonna be the one comment. You are brave. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. You are brave and have so much self-awareness. And as you show us how much we take for granted, that we really should be grateful for. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's good note to end on. Good note to end on. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't think I was going to have a show today. I did not think I was going to have a show today. I almost scheduled a show. I almost did it. Twice I almost did it. I was like, this morning I was like, oh, let me put up something. I don't know what to say. Pete was like, read your notes. And I was like, I don't know what to put on the notes. There's nothing coming. There's nothing coming to my mind. Look at that. Look at that. Give God the opportunity to speak, and God will speak through you. God will speak through you. Just give him the right place. Ashe. All right. All right. And I will let that be the last thing I say. So remember that now is better than perfect, and I'll see you later. Let me find my right outro. Here we go. I'll see you later.